Exotics says, I do think people need to comp better and learn more about real estate in general. They'd close more deals. I agree. I wouldn't call it a barrier. I think the word comp is a crutch for a lot of wholesalers. Oh, if I got to comp better. This is the biggest misconception in wholesaling for a lot of people. You don't need a comp better. You really don't. And let me explain this. I've always told everyone be very conservative with your comps. And if you are conservative with your comps, it doesn't matter what your comps are. If you focus on lowballing the seller and you focus on the seller and their needs, your comp ain't gonna matter. And this is a problem I think a lot of wholesalers have. Comping is not this crazy science because your comps, your ARV, your whatever formula you make is gonna be completely different than what your cash buyer wants and what your seller wants. So it really doesn't matter. And really, your comp, your ARV, your repair costs, all these things, they're all a fugazi. They're all, they're all numbers in the air. They're all like, they're special, right? Like they're all floating, moving numbers and like, they're like electrons. Like they're always moving. There's no perfect static number. Like it ain't that, all right? Your ARV can be a range. Your comps are going to be a range. It's kind of around this, and it's kind of in a general direction. Right? Like you're not going to know exactly what it is. And the people that get the calculator up and they calculate it perfectly and get it to the T squared and they check the flooring costs and then square it up versus if I get a union contractor and it's stupid. All right. Hey, I think a cash buyer is going to buy this for around $350 and I'm going to lock it up for $300 and make $50K. If I'm wrong, I make $20K. If I'm super right, I make $70. This is how $1 million wholesaler looks at it. And from other $1 million wholesalers I talk to, other $1 million real estate investors, the best in the business. That's how they look at it. They don't look at it to the fourth squared T to the seventh. That's what I'm getting. No, okay. That's stupid college number stuff, okay? I do not work for BlackRock trying to buy properties to the 10th square so I can get my 2% cap rate. I don't do that, okay? I don't follow this guideline that my boss gives me to buy properties with other people's hedge fund money. That's not what I do, okay? I wholesale real estate. We are literally just flipping paper. That's what we're doing. We're not flipping houses. We don't have to be perfect on everything. Seriously, it's like, okay, I know this baseball card on eBay selling for around $10, so let me try to buy it for like $7 or $6. Like, rough. It's like, I gotta buy this thing for $7.24 and I'm gonna offer $4. It's so stupid. Offer $2. See what happens. $9, that's a little too high. I'm not gonna swing the bat on that, right? It's what you gotta do. And when you complicate it, that's when you get crazy. Stop complicating your comps. Drives me crazy. Like stop doing it. Don't think it's gonna make you a better. If you focus on lowballing, building a rapport with the seller, and actually giving the offer the right way, I feel like this isn't the biggest problem. This isn't the thing people need to learn in general. What the people need to learn in general is how to talk to a seller the right way. How to have a conversation where I'm super slick, I have a great connection with the seller, and I deliver that lowball in the best way possible. Because if I deliver that lowball in the best way possible, I can get a 25% reduction in the price that they're willing to take, which removes any comp in the world, okay? So I got Johnny Comp over here who calculated the house MAO is 70K. And I calculate that, it could be 60 to 80 is what a cash buyer, that kind of range. And they say, okay, 70K, I'm gonna offer 50,000. We're gonna get it perfectly, right? And they're terrible at the delivery. They lock it up for 60, they make 10, right? Me, I don't focus on the comps. I spent 5-10 minutes on the comps, 60, 80. So I want to be way below that. I'm very conservative with my stuff. Because I spent that extra 30 minutes he spent on his comping on my delivery, talking to him, thinking about the property, practicing. Say, you know what, Mr. Seller, I was telling my partner, John, and he looked at the house before we went here. I kind of was on the phone before I was driving over, and due to the work it needed, I got some guys in some jobs. He wanted to buy this thing for around $38,000. And, we go back and forth from there. And, we lock it up probably for $45 because I got really good at that. I practiced it up. I actually had people in the jobs, or I used whatever examples my cash buyer had on his jobs. I used real people. I, delivered it in such a smooth way. I made an extra $15,000. Say lowballed. I made an extra 15 grand by practicing and spending my time actually on the lowball than on the comp. So don't think in your mind that the comp is going to be the thing that's going to make everything perfectly. Okay? It's not. It's talking to the seller. So let's see what you got to say here. He said, that's an extreme LOL. Then there's the other extreme, not knowing how to comp at all and looking at Zillow. Some people don't complicate it, but I myself comp well and efficiently because I'm also a cash buyer. That's great. I'm assuming too you're an expert at acquisition. And so if you're an expert at comping, you should know it takes 5 to 10 minutes to comp at most. That is it. And I hate to say it, but as someone that trains hundreds of thousands of wholesalers, it's that extreme. Okay, it's not that low of an extreme. And as a cash buyer myself, when you sell hundreds of deals in wholesaling, I've done my MAO 70. I go to a cash buyer, their MAO is 80. Their MAO is 60. It's different than mine, just different. I'm never going to convince a cash buyer to buy it for a lower price or a higher price. They care about the property. They're not a lot of wholesalers get really emotional in a connection with the deal. That's it. And so I would say most wholesalers will 100% overshoot how much the house is worth. They're way optimistic. They see a comp for 70 and they'll see a comp for 80 and they'll take this 80 all day. They won't even care about the 70 because they're optimistic. That they feel in their soul, how can I manipulate the comps for it to seem better for myself so I feel like I'm better? No, all right, it's the facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. This deal sold for this in a similar range. Do it. As someone that's an expert in comping, I can tell you 5 to 10 minutes is the most you take on the comp, right? Now, if I'm going to buy it for a rental, I'm going to do something crazy, I'm going to flip it, I'm probably going to put some more into it, but for wholesaling, 5 to 10 minutes, spend it in acquisitions, that's how you do it, right?